Hey guys, this is part 2 of the previous video. So like we were saying earlier, uh Aries, the power of initiating new ways of seeing and feeling about our passion, our desires, which play out biologically as our brain and nervous system, which is very important to know, because if we know this is the energy that literally creates the output or the input that gets our body going, because your brain and nervous system is almost like the computer that sends the nervous system signals to different body parts of your limbs through what carnal fire, which play out biologically as a nervous system signals. This is why your nervous system is quick, it ignites, it acts like carnal fire, like Aries, the first house, the beginning of spring, so it could spring things into existence. But this energy here could play out very bad because it deals with the fire element, and the fire element tends to deal with inflammation, burning through reality, even destroying your body tissues. Because we gotta understand, we need a healthy amount of fluid, hormones, and oxygen within our system to keep it cool down at a good temperature. If we produce too much fire element, too much hotness, too much inflammation, and things along this line, we can start destroying our body tissue. And a small example of that is having a headache, because what this tells us is basically you took all your awareness throughout your body and placed it in one area in your head, because you want to focus on this vision, imagination, or this idea, which could be very exhaustive on you without realizing it, because people do not know that the sun is exalted in Aries. The sun rules our blood, so it's get exalted in our head. So every time we allow our self-expression, our creativity to go to our head, we get angry, we can't see things in no other way, we become blind with our own passion and desires. This is the allegory of Jesus, the solar plexus, getting crucified in the head, Jerusalem, which is which is what the Bible is trying to speak to you from a metaphysical point of view all the way to a biological point of view. So we gotta be more aware of how we ignite, what type of visions, carnal signals, nervous system signals do we give birth to, so we could see how do we control our body through a nervous system, and how do we get things going. Aries is the motor of the body, if you will. It's the star, it's the beginning of the spring season. So careful with that energy. You want to use Aries energy to program yourself to give birth to visions and imagination that's good for you, that would actually allow you to develop a better brain capacity. When people get older, we lose that ability of giving birth to new things and seeing new ways of seeing and feeling, aka we lose that neurological capacity. And by that I mean, when you're young, you're always into initiating new ways of seeing and feeling about your passions, your desires, and that allows you to develop your brain and nervous system tissue. The more you could see things in different way, the more you could create a possibility for you to really grow a new brain tissue. But if you cannot spark that passion and desire to see things in a different way and feel about them in a different way, then you lose that ability to basically create new brain cells, neurogenesis, which is very important. So it's very important for us to keep tap into this energy, because it keeps us young. Aries rules the first house, which deal with our personality, our childhood, our who I am, that part of life. It literally molded our brain and nervous system to look at the rest of our life. So if we're not continuously paying attention to our first house, Aries, our brain and nervous system, then we will never be able to see where a lot of things began in our life. How did we begin our spring season? Because Aries begins everything. And if you think about the concept of spring season, it play out biologically through these organs, because they deal with springing things into existence. So after Aries, we get Taurus. Taurus is the second house, and Taurus power is being fixated and stubborn on safety, security, what's practical, based upon what they love, appreciate, what they like to relate and indulge in. So This energy play out as a hormonal or endocrine system, which is important to keep equilibrium within our body. If we can't maintain equilibrium within our body, we cannot stay healthy. Our endocrine system, our hormone system is responsible for like a multitude of hormones, epinephrine, cholesterol, different hormones that deal with breaking down sugar, different hormones that deal with breaking down fat, different hormones that deal with activating different body parts. So it's very important for us to keep track of this body part here, Taurus, the second house. It deals with the energy of the high priestess, because it's about learning how to develop what's valuable to you, what's stable to you, what makes sense to you, so you could take care of your physical body, your five senses. Because Taurus does not only deal with the hormonal and the endocrine system, it also deal with the physical body. A lot of people with Taurus energy, they have a heavy attachment to the material realm, or like what's practical. They love comfortability, they love eating, they love tasting different things, because you just got to think about all these things tweak their hormones. And this is what Taurus chase after: stability. They chase after security, because they know is what gonna make them feel emotionally good. The moon is exalted in Taurus. The moon is the moon, and also Venus rules Taurus. And if we know Venus deals with our hormones and our moon deals with our immune system, we these things work together to develop a really healthy body, or could develop a really negative body. If you're not able to find what makes you feel safe and secure based upon your emotional need, then your immune system will dry up. If you don't have things that could put your love matter, your desires into, in terms of safety and security, what's practical, then your hormones will dry up. Because you gotta think about it, your hormones has the alchemy of witness to them. While say your brain nervous system signals, they deal with fire elements, so they separate, they disconnect, they burn through reality. While your hormones is fluid, it's wet, they deal with the water element, so they connect multitude of organs to work together, which is exactly what we need. So it's very important here for everybody to develop their own stability system. What makes you safe and secure? Do reading Bible scriptures make you feel safe and secure? Do owning multitude of houses make you feel safe and secure? Do sleeping late at night and waking up late in the morning make you feel safe and secure? Or maybe waking up early in the morning and sleeping early in before like midnight and things along this line. You just gotta find what makes you feel safe and secure, and you gotta do it on the basis on what makes sense to take care of your physical body. The more energy, speculative energy, you put into understanding your value, your stability, what makes sense to you from a physical point of view, the more you learn how to take care of your own physical need. Because you figure out, okay, do I need this, do I need that, okay, I need to cut this out, I need to cut this out, and you're gonna see how all this affect your hormonal system. And yeah, you guys gotta realize that Aries, it's the beginning of the spring season, while Taurus is the fixated portion of the spring season. So when Aries, the brain and nervous system, begins a process, a neurological signal, a vision, an imagination, Taurus, the fixated portion of the spring season, takes the carnal fire and fix it and stabilize it to begin the hormonal process, literally. So this tells us that a big part of your hormonal system, how it gets activated, is your brain and nervous system. You cannot separate Aries and Taurus away from each other. And the more we could become aware of the fact that it happens, that our nervous system creates a signal, and then that creates a biological response within our hormonal system, Taurus, then we can understand that that beginning of spring season energy, but also the fixated portion of the spring season, which is important because this is the spring seasons dealing with the spring organs that begins things within our body. So if we don't know how to spring things into existence, we will never know how to start a spring season within us. And this is what astrology teaches us, from looking at the external world and comparing it to our internal world. And the more we learn about the external world, the more we learn about the internal world. And the more we learn about our internal world, we'll learn about the external world.